for a very long time and has a very beautiful wife from Mississippi. He has to stress that to me. I met this lady from Mississippi. But it's all good, it's nice. She's a lovely lady. Welcome to our show. And this is Mr. Samuel H. Pieh. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, Brother Shola.
Yes, sir. I am glad to have you in the studio, and you're visiting Atlanta. You visited so many African countries. But before we go on to that, tell me about your Meet South Africa link. What's this link all about?
Thank you very much, Brother Shola and Madam Mfon and Brother Pesima. It's a real pleasure to be here. The Meet South Africa link was created out of a motivation and concern for the way relationship between the US and Africa has impacted me overall, from the time I graduated from high school up to the time I finished graduate school here in Michigan. I felt that there needs to be a difference in the way we relate to each other. We need more positive, mutually beneficial experiences. So this Meet South Africa link is a 501c3 organization recognized by the IRS and the state of Tennessee, geared towards improving the partnership between Africa and United States so that we can have improved quality of life, improved access to water, sanitation and hygiene, improved ways of adding value for health and wealth creation of all people, particularly African people.
Okay. So how long have this group been formed?
This group has been formed for over a decade now, actually, and it is out of that experience that I decided to write a book, because it seems like we don't write book for ourselves, we don't write our own stories. So I thought, well, let me write my own story to start with, and hopefully I will motivate other Africans to write their own experience.
And what's the name of that book, the title?
Actually, it's an autobiography. It's an autobiography of Samuel Pieh, Beyond the Amistad Saga. Being a descendant of the Amistad Saga, you know, a lot of talk about the Amistad when Steven Spielberg and Debbie Allen produced the movie Amistad.
Yeah.
I was a language coach, and I was also one of the elders of the captives. And
oh, you were in the movie?
yes, I was in the movie. So when you look at the movie Amistad,
I'm going to have to go look at that movie today.
Yes.
Make sure I'm going to, yeah, sorry.
Yes. And the credit, you look for the credit also, my name is on the credit. So it was a really uplifting and exciting experience, but it brought a lot of burden on me. And after that experience, I decided to write my own story.
Your story.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this South African link, could you give us any brief, just a brief achievement that you have, you've received out of your work?
Well, Meet South Africa link, like I shared with you earlier, improving relationship between the US and Africa. Out of our efforts over the last decade, we have been able to work with a group called Southern Eye Associates out of Memphis, Tennessee. One of the best eye doctors, ophthalmologists, Dr. Kathy Shanza and her husband, Tom Lewis, have gone to Africa several times with me, leading the medical team, and they finally decided to open an eye hospital in Sierra Leone. If you go to Sirabu, which is in the southern part of Sierra Leone, you'll find out that there is a first-class eye hospital that has been established, and they treat all kinds of eye diseases, eye problems, and corrective lenses free of charge to Sierra Leoneans, Guineans, and Liberians who come there. Out of that also, I met an OBGYN physician out of Dallas, Texas, Dr. Darius Maggie, who has opened a women's hospital in Bo, Sierra Leone, treating the women's ailment, which has really isolated and neglected women with fistula problems. It's a gynecological problem, and if you go there at the hospital, Fistula Foundation, West Africa Fistula Foundation, you can get treatment for that as well. And we have renovated the oldest United Methodist Church in Sierra Leone, Tayama Cathedral in the bush, And we have started renovating the hospital there as well, and we are thinking about building a water treatment plant to provide water, safe water, clean water to children in Sierra Leone, in particular Tayama, the secondary school, the primary school, and the community. So we have also, over the years, through my dialogue with people like Heather, who has brought me here today, Heather Gray, who has been very active in the Federation of Southern Cooperatives and the Radio and the Land Assistance Fund, and also this radio station. She has been giving me a lot of information about food security, like the urban farming and the other radio programs. And we just happened to talk about radio programs. I said, you know, a radio program would be a good asset if we can have radio program in Sierra Leone and Ivory Coast, where we can bring young people and community people to express themselves and to share information and to motivate people to take actions, do whatever is necessary to improve the knowledge, the attitude, and the behavior of people so that they can take responsibility to change their own way of life. Those are some of the things we're hoping to do. And Heather and I thought linking with you guys here and other community groups in Georgia, Alabama, or the southern United States, we can really harvest the synergy to be able to show people that yes, change can take place even in Africa. Change can take place anywhere where you have committed people who have a common focus, who are willing to make a difference in the lives of others.
Great. That's a lot of work. I know it's not an easy thing to do. But give us just a short and brief about your experience in traveling, your displeasures, and what you think should be done with some of the stuff that you found out during your travel in Africa.
Brother Shola, I just thank God. He has been so good to me. Since I married my wife, Clara, from Mississippi, we have been blessed with 3 boys.
See, he has to talk about that Mississippi.
Yeah. I really think every African should visit Mississippi, because for me, coming to Mississippi after graduating from University of Michigan opened my eyes. I saw things that were identical or similar to what was going on in Sierra Leone. I saw sewage running behind the homes there. I saw cities that did not have access to safe water. And I remember when I worked with Community Resource Group, it's a non-profit where we worked. I was representing CRG in Tennessee. The congressman of Alabama, Bobby Singleton, was representing the CRG in Alabama. And we used to meet every quarter. And having done that and seeing the transformation that has taken place in Mississippi, Sugar Ditch was regarded as the third world of America. And there was no water, there was no safe water, but today you go there, you find out that people have decent housing, decent water supply and sanitation. And you see employment for the people, the community is blossoming. So it gives me hope that if it can happen in Mississippi, it can happen in Sierra Leone as well, it can happen in other parts. And my wife and I have gone and worked in Mauritania for 2 years. We went to work in Tanzania for 1 year. We went to work in Sierra Leone for 2 years. And then worked in Liberia for 4 years. And we just finished 2 years in Ivory Coast. To me, Ivory Coast has given me hope that definitely transformation will take place. Positive transformation can take place in Africa. And I encourage anybody who wants to look at Africa to visit Côte d'Ivoire, Abidjan, and see how that transformation is taking place. The leadership and the vision and the collective responsibility of the young men and young women in that country has given me hope. In fact, I teach English. I used to teach English to the young people in Abidjan. And one of the ways I try to transform their English speaking skills was to discuss things that are relevant, current. And one of the things we discussed was immigration and migration process. In all those countries I've been, even Mauritania, the young people want to come to America. America is looked at. Yes, every young person in my class wanted to come to America. So we talked about migration, and I discussed the opportunities and challenges of going to another place, what your experiences will be, the challenges. And they developed a drama, which we recorded that drama. I hope there'll be opportunity for you to see it. I sent it to Heather this morning. Hopefully she can share it with you. But there are positive things of migrating to another part, but there are also challenges, and we all know it.
Mm-hmm.
So how you manage those opportunities and challenges, that was my focus, to teach them English. And I would like for you and your listening audience in Georgia to consider partnering with Mid-South Africa Link. Let's bring some young people in Ivory Coast and Sierra Leone to come and visit your radio program for a short time. And then let us try to see if we can open community radio stations at Njala University, for example, in Sierra Leone, and at the University of Houphouët-Boigny in Ivory Coast, Abidjan. And let's see how we can groom these young people so that they can change their thinking, so that they can have hope. Because you have to love yourself and know yourself and be able to reach out to others. The need for that collaboration.
That's definitely great. Definitely, Mr. Pieh. I mean, my hat's off to you. You've done a great job. Sitting down there looking very simple and gentle, but you never know what people do behind the scene. Thank you very much for taking the time and talking to us. I know this was not planned, but it is very, very important. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I like to encourage listeners to communicate with Mid-South Africa Link. Amistad, AMISTAD .tai2013@gmail.com. Again, Amistad, AMISTAD.tai2013@gmail.com. We'd like to get your feedback. We'd like to hear from you, offers and recommendations you may have as to how best we can harvest the synergy of great people. God has blessed us so much, how we can mobilize those things to make a difference in the lives of diverse group of people.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
You're listening to the 9.3 FM WRFG, your one-stop for international music and more, where we play you the best of African music from 11 o'clock until 2 o'clock p.m. And then, of course, you have rockers coming on, reggae music, soca music, zouk, and more from 2 to 5 p.m. Keep it right on the 9.3 FM.